Sebastian Martinez MMA here post-fight with Jens Pulver, who lost a unanimous decision to Sami Aziz here at Superior Challenge. You put up a great fight. It was his last fight, and he came guns blazing, went all in. How do you feel about the fight?
I feel good. I mean, I feel good for him. You know, losing, that don't feel good. You know, but such is life. You know, I'm tired. I like to go to bed. You know, jet lag has got me. But like I said, I turned 38 in a week and a half. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not too far behind Sami. If this is his last fight, I wish him all the best in the world, whatever he does. You know, hopefully he can gather that piece that I've got to learn how to gather, which is start coaching our youth. You know, and I got some youngsters that they're gonna be able to fight like there's no tomorrow. So you know, I'm getting into that, and you know, I just going out to the fight side, I was just flat. A little flatter than I wanted to be, a little flatter than I should have been, but, you know, great wrestler. Took me down, held me down.
He opened the fight standing, and he didn't go for as many takedowns as perhaps some people thought he would. Were you surprised that he kept the fight standing so often?
Everybody stands with me. Everybody wants to stand with me and punch me right in the mouth. It's like a rat trap. I'm like the cheese in the rat trap. If they're gonna stand with somebody, let's stand with Jens, you know what I mean? And they always do. I mean, I can feel it. He did a great job, and you know, why not? If this is your last fight, go out on your shield. He didn't sit back and try to take it safe. He didn't sit back and try to pull out the win. He got after it. You know what I mean? I got a lot to learn when I go out on my shield. You know, when I go out for my last fight coming up this year, you know, I don't want to play it safe either. I want to go out there and I want to fight, and that's what he did. My hat's off to him. I came out here to his hometown. You know, this is where Sami's big. This is Sami's world, and he lived up to it and got after it. And so how can you not respect somebody when you go out there for 15 minutes and throw down like we did? You know.
As you mentioned before, you said to Sami that you were going to do one more fight, and then you're also done. Is that correct?
It's coming. Yeah, I'm finishing up. There's one or two. I have an opportunity, hopefully, to go to my hometown. I've never been in Seattle since I left, you know, to go to college. And I haven't been back, especially for MMA in that aspect. And, you know, it's getting time. I can feel it, you know. I don't know, I'll be 38, like I said, December 6th. And I don't know, I'm sure there's a lot of 38-year-olds that don't look like this. But at the same token, you know, yeah, it's time for me. I have a gym, 802 MMA. I hope my boys they're not too disappointed in me, you know, and the effort I gave tonight. But I've got 3 or 4 guys right now that I'm really excited. You know, Josh Smith, I'm really excited to coach him at 125 pounds. And, you know, I got some other fighters, Rafian and TJ, that I'm excited, you know, and I get to do something that my father never did for me, which is I get to raise my children. So I'm pumped.
All right. Well, are there any opponents in particular that you would really like to fight before you sort of hang up the gloves?
No, you know, I mean, I'll go back down to 135 and continue finishing my career. I've been there for the last 4 fights. I came up here, you know, again to fight Osama and or Sami, whichever he prefers. You know, to fight him. And 45 was a good fight. You know, might as well. I'd like to go back at 35. And the one thing, you look at my career and whatever, you know, what I've been through from when we started, when there was no weight class. They didn't even have 155 pounds. It wasn't legal, but in 3 states. And I chose to be a fighter. I was a college graduate and decided I was going to fight MMA. And everybody thought I was stupid, you know, when I first started this. And I moved out to Iowa, and I've been out there for 14 years, you know. And look at where the sport is. Look how big it is. And like I said, I went from when it was nothing. Won the first ever world title for the UFC at 155. And now I'm just doing fights for me. There's one thing that's happened. And the good part was it didn't happen so bad in this cage. But something's been happening to me in the last few fights where I feel like a race car driver who got in a bad car wreck and he doesn't want to get back in the car. Things started happening a couple years ago where I would get inside that cage and get completely lost. And the panic button inside of me is going, get the f out of there now. Get the f out of this cage. And tonight, you know, it was beautiful being in this crowd, in this place. I just had my wits more about me. I was able to get in there in a hard fight with a great wrestler and fight back. And so what people don't see and what they will see are 2 different things. What they don't see is how many things I gained from going into that fight, able to hear my corner and not panicking, not wanting to hit the eject button and get out of that car. And, you know, then they see the loss. Hey, you know what? I lost like that to an opponent like that. Hey, man, that's fighting. Shit happens.
All right. Well, first of all, you're allowed to use the F word if you want to. We're pretty
That's
open
all
with
right.
that.
I'm trying to contain that. I got to cuss on live TV once in the UFC, and it was so casually put that they actually went. So I don't want to push my limits. My kids may see this someday.
All right, fair enough. Well, just to round off here, so about how many fights or how much time would you say that you have left in the sport?
This year, coming.
Well, only this year. So you plan on retiring in 2014?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
But like I said, here's the thing. I'm going to say that, but I'm never going to retire. I'm not going to say I'm done. I'm not going to say, here, this is it. I want to retire. I don't want to watch. I don't want anybody to say congratulations. I don't want anybody to say wonderful career, because more than that, I don't want to be able to come back. I'm not going to retire 4 times. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that for Sammy. Everybody does what they do, but I made a promise. I just told him, one day I just won't be fighting. It'll just be that simple. I'm just not going to fight anymore. But I'm not going to say I retire. I'm not going to stop doing this. You know, I fight for a different reason. I've been fighting. If you ever seen my documentary, Jens Pulver Driven, you'll know I was badly abused growing up. And I used athletics to keep me out of jail. I love my brother, serving 55 years in prison, but he didn't utilize wrestling. My little brother Abel, I think he's ready to retire. He's been cornering me since 1997, my first fight. So I think he's ready to quit doing this shit too. So, you know, that's one of the things. It's kept me sane. So I need to learn how to find some other avenues, and then I can retire from the sport, because it saved my life up till now.
all right. Well, we're definitely looking forward to the performances, and thank you for the fights in past and the fights coming up as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.